Well, a massive good evening and welcome to you this evening to this special online concert as part of Harvest Pop-Up. I hope you're doing okay wherever you're tuning in from this evening. My name's Paul Bell, and I'm going to be sharing some songs with you over the next kind of 45 minutes or so. And you join me from the little studio at the bottom of my garden here in Nottinghamshire, in the middle of the country. And I hope you're doing okay. And I really want to welcome you. And I'm going to sing some songs. This first song is a song about the existential nature of good and evil. And I think it's good to have a song about that. This is my song about that. It's called Down the Middle. And it talks about the fact that we're kind of a funny mixture of good, created by God, with good potential, but also with the massive potential to mess things up sometime. And somebody once said that the line between good and evil doesn't necessarily run between countries or political parties or ideologies or even individuals. It runs right down the middle of every human heart. And that resonated with me. So I wrote this. It's called Down the Middle, and I'll sing it to you now. Here we go. If there is a great divide, I could find myself on either side. And when good and bad collide, there's a battle raging on inside. Even on my better days, I could still mess up 10 different ways. I'm not easy to define. I guess that I'm on both sides of the line, 'cause it runs right down the middle of my heart. Right down the middle of my heart. I don't know where it ends, but this is where I start. It runs right down the middle of my heart. See, I was broken from the start, but everyone's a fractured work of art. In the light and in the dark, smudged in dirty fingerprints of God. Hour to hour and day to day, I say things I wish I didn't say. All's not lost, but all's not fine. I guess that I'm on both sides of the line, 'cause it runs right down the middle of my heart. Right down the middle of my heart. I don't know where it ends, but this is where I start. It runs right down the middle of my heart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Take my right and take my wrong. Take these broken, simple little songs. Wipe the dirt from my face. Wash me in the river of your grace. Let it run right down the middle of my heart. Right down the middle of my heart. I don't know where it ends, but this is where I start. It runs right down the middle of my heart. Let it run right down the middle of my heart. Right down the middle of my heart. I don't know where it ends, but this is where I start. It runs right down the middle of my heart. Brilliant. Well, there we go. That was the first song. It's good to deal with the existential nature of good and evil during the first song, I like to think. Get that out of the way. And we can move on to the next subject I'll be covering this evening, which is a song about biscuits. I hope you like biscuits. I like biscuits myself, and I thought I would treat you to a song about biscuits. If you've seen me play before, chances are you've heard me sing a song about biscuits before, and it's one of those things where, like, Robbie Williams has to sing Angels every gig, probably I have to sing the Biscuit Song, and so we're going to do that together now. And the way that this song usually works in a pre-COVID sense is that we would have some audience participation live in the room, where if I mention your favourite biscuit in the song, you get to show your appreciation, not for me but for the biscuit itself. And you could do that with perhaps a little whoop, perhaps a little yeah, or yeah if you're a bit more masculine, or you can you use the phrase, yes Paul, that's a biscuit that I enjoy, if you're feeling more formal, or you can write to me. Those are the ways you can get involved. And because we're online tonight instead, you can probably put in the comments what your favourite biscuit is, which one you most enjoy, and get involved that way with some biscuit related online banter. So this is called The Need for Biscuits. I hope it means as much to you as it does to me, and I should make clear that this is a song that really only works on one level. If you're looking for a clever hidden meaning, there isn't one. It's just a song about biscuits, but I feel like that's okay. We're relaxed here this evening. We can have a little biscuit related fun. So here we go. This is The Need for Biscuits, and let me know which one you're enjoying in the comments, either in the pop-up registered area or in the comments on YouTube as well. Say hello and I'll try and get to your questions during the evening, but if not, I'll catch up with them afterwards. So this is The Need for Biscuits. Here we go. When I feel the need for biscuits, I reach for my biscuit tin. I gently peel back the lid and I reach right in. Oh yeah. One or two people at home feeling a little bit worried. Don't be worried, it's okay, I've done this before. I find that it is empty with only crumbs inside. I'll open a new packet, but I just can't decide. And I think we've all been there, haven't we, yeah? Here we go. There's Garibaldi and fig rolls too. Bourbons are tasty but not too good for you. But chocolate digestives are the stuff of dreams. Strangely some prefer the custard creams. Well, there's hobnobs and biscuits of that ilk, the one with the cows on the malted milk. And there's a thought with me that often lingers. I could eat a whole packet of chocolate fingers, and party rings and pink wafers I must take account. As the name suggests, Jaffa cakes just don't count. And the Penguin and the Jacobs Club deserve to be clapped for. These lovely biscuits are individually wrapped. There's something that's always puzzled me, the enduring popularity of the rich tea. There's a biscuit that is loved by all, from babies to codgers, the family favourite, the jammy Dodgers. But when my supply is exhausted and my cupboard almost bare, I find my mood is changing to one of despair. Let's get myself out there before the shop shuts and buy myself a packet of ginger nuts. So there we go. I always feel more relaxed once I've played the Biscuit Song, as I do at most of the gigs that I do, and I feel like we're going to be okay this evening, because when people get involved with the Biscuit Song, it normally helps me to feel like we're going to have a good gig. We're going to have a good evening. That evening I played at the Gluten Free and Diabetics Association was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. But this one's going to be okay. This online gig is going to be fine, I'm sure. And somebody mentioned to me a few months ago. Somebody sent me a link and they said, Paul, you've been mentioned in the Guardian newspaper. And I was quite surprised to read this, but I checked it out and I had indeed. It was an article mostly about Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury. But there was a mention, the Guardian had been following him around that week, and he happened to be speaking at an event where I was kind of the warm-up act for the Archbishop of Canterbury. And the Guardian said something like, there was a nice young man who sang a song about custard creams and bourbons, which may or may not have had hidden evangelical meaning. So I think they felt there was a hidden agenda in the song, but as I've said, no hidden meanings in that song at all, just a Biscuit song. This is a song called Things I Should Have Learned. It's about things I should have learned, which is why I called it Things I Should Have Learned. And normally I would ask the audience to get involved with a bit of a Motown backing vocal in this song. It goes, when I think, and you go, think, like that. So you can try that if you want to at home. I know that it's not the same without everyone else around you also joining in, but you can do that if you want. I'm going to imagine it as I perform the song for you now. This is called Things I Should Have Learned. Here we go. When I think about the things I should have learned, I wouldn't have got my fingers burned, wouldn't have taken that wrong turn. When I think about the things I should have learned, why I didn't, I don't know. I guess I'm a little slow. I should have learned that mashed potato doesn't go with chips. I should have learned when I park the car I should always check for skips. It's a moment on the tongue, but it's a lifetime on the hips. I should have learned, I should have learned. I should have learned to read the question before starting the exam. Sometimes thin and crispy can be nicer than deep pan. Should have learned to tell the difference between a woman and a man. I should have learned, I should have learned. When I think about the things I should have learned, I wouldn't have got my fingers burned, wouldn't have taken that wrong turn. When I think about the things I should have learned, why I didn't, I don't know. I guess I'm a little slow. Should have learned that cut price flowers aren't her idea of romance. Should have learned when to play it safe and when to take a chance. Should have checked for window cleaners before dancing in my pants. I should have learned, should have learned. I should have learned I'm not the kind of guy who can pull off a sarong. When she asked, does my bum look big in this, I shouldn't have paused that long. Should have learned that I'm not always right, but my wife is never wrong. I should have learned, should have learned. When I think about the things I should have learned, I wouldn't have got my fingers burned, wouldn't have taken that wrong turn. When I think about the things I should have learned, why I didn't, I don't know. I guess I'm a little slow. Should have learned that when I write a song but don't spend that much time, you can't put something funny in every single line, and you can't expect your words to somehow magically scan properly. I should have learned, should have learned. Should have learned that when my life is drifting slowly down the pan, sometimes you gotta muddle through any way you can, and my mistakes turn into something I never could have planned. I should have learned, should have learned. When I think about the things I should have learned, I wouldn't have got my fingers burned, wouldn't have taken that wrong turn. When I think about the things I should have learned, why I didn't, I don't know. I guess I'm a little slow. Brilliant, thank you very much. I say that as though you're clapping. I'm assuming that you are. It's like a proper gig, isn't it? I'm sure you're clapping at home. And this evening in the comments, it's nice. People are singing the backing vocals in the comments, which I think is brilliant. So good evening to you. Good evening, Phil. Good evening, Skipton Baptist Church. I assume that's the whole church, but only gathered together in groups of 6. And it's nice to see you all. And good evening, Andrew, as well. Good evening, everyone else who's watching. Let's see if there's any comments on the questions on the other tab. There we go. Good evening, Lisa, and good evening, Gillian. Good evening, Stephanie. Oh, it's wonderful. And somebody was mentioning a song about buffets, and I think there will be a song about buffets. There might be some Christmas stuff. Here's the Christmas tree. I'll just show you the better angle for the Christmas tree. Here it is. We might do a bit of Christmas stuff in a little while. if that's okay with you. It's kind of nearly Christmas, isn't it? So I thought I would break out a little bit of my Christmas repertoire, but that doesn't come quite yet. We're going to sing, first of all, I say we are, I'm going to sing, you can sing if you want to as well. This is a song called Things No One Knows, and it's a song about unanswered questions. I'm not sure if you have any of those. I still have quite a few, and it's on my latest album, this album here called First Light, and we recorded the album in Sweden just at the start of 2018, I think it was, and so this song is in Swedish, but you'll pick it up. It's not really in Swedish. I can't sing in Swedish, or I can't even say sing in Swedish, let alone sing in Swedish. And this is a song about unanswered questions, and if you have any of those, then maybe you'll resonate with this. This is called Things No One Knows. Here we go. Where do all the teaspoons go and the other odd socks? Do they dance with the Tupperware lids? Which one's ant and which one's deck? Is MySpace still a thing? Who thought Jar Jar Binks was a good idea? There are things that no one knows. There are things that no one knows. One flower withers and the next one grows. There are things no one knows. Why does toast fall butter side down? Why is belly button fluff blue? What's the second verse to God Save the Queen? Why are pears always too hard or disappointingly soft, but hardly ever in between? There are things that no one knows. There are things that no one knows. One flower withers and the next one grows. There are things no one knows. Where's the sense in sickness? Can you reason with death? Can you make sense of joy and pain? Could it have been different? Could you have done more? Some things refuse to be explained. There are things that no one knows. There are things that no one knows. And I carry questions, but he shares the load. This side of heaven, that's the way it goes. There are things no one knows. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much for joining me this evening for this special concert online after hours, and thank you to Spring Harvest for having me come and play and invade your YouTube channel. You're very brave, and hopefully we'll have some fun this evening. Just checking the comments again over here, and I'll have to catch up on them later, because I find that one of the things that is not exciting about online concerts is watching somebody else read. And so maybe I'll catch up with you later. But thanks ever so much for all the comments and the engagement. That's fantastic. And I thought I would sing you a song about being 4. Is anyone watching who's 4? It's perhaps a little bit too late for most 4-year-olds. Perhaps the 4-year-olds are in bed. But this is a song about being 4, and I wrote it when my kids were 4 and 2 years old. And I called it 4 because more things rhyme with 4 than 2. My kids are a little bit older than that now. But that kind of sense of wonder that children have when we see the world through their eyes and their perspective. It's just a very different way to the somehow kind of jaded way that we sometimes see the world. So this is called 4. I'll just have a little sip of water. That's lovely. So this is called 4. Here we go. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I'd get to dress up more. I'd spend more time outdoors. I wouldn't have to pay the bills, and I'd get Calpol when I'm ill. I wish that I was 4. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I'd be more self-assured. It would be cute when I snored. We'd be princesses and kings, and you could push me on the swings. Well, I wish that I was 4. We'd play games, you'd let me win. I'd have ketchup with everything. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I'd see no rich, no poor, sit cross-legged on the floor. Silly things would make me laugh. Instead of showers, I'd have baths. I wish that I was 4. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I'd get out of all the chores. I'd be ignorant of wars. But I have long grown past the size when I could have a shoulder ride. So I wish that I was 4. Runny nose, I'd use my sleeve. You'd say it's true, and I'd believe you. You'd explain, I'd understand. I'd get scared, you'd hold my hand. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I might be less mature, but I'd know that I am yours. So I'll drink from a plastic cup, and I'll not hurry to grow up. I wish that I was 4. Oh, I wish that I was 4. It would be simpler, I'm sure. Oh, for cynicism's cure. We'd be quickly reconciled, and I could trust just like a child. Oh, I wish that I was 4. I wish that I was 4. There we go. So I thought the beauty of doing things online is we can do some things that we wouldn't be able to do in person. Obviously, there's lots of things in this current environment that we'd like to be able to do that we can't do. But the online thing gives us a chance to try something a little bit different. And so what I thought we would do this evening is try a socially distanced virtual Mexican wave. And are you up for that? It's never been tried before, but I thought what we would do is we'll go west to east across the whole country. Maybe that's that way, I don't know. But anyway, west to east across the whole country. And so roughly imagine yourself west to east, and then picture yourself doing the Mexican wave. You can do it in the comments as well. Perhaps get the old wave emoji going on if you want to. I'm going to read out some place names that are roughly in order from west to east. And if you feel like you're on the same latitude or longitude, whichever it is, it's probably, I don't know, I can't remember. But geography, I did history, not geography. So We're going to try this virtual Mexican wave. I'd love to imagine you doing this in your lounge, jumping up when I say the sort of town or city that is virtually in line with where you are. If you're not watching in the UK, then decide whether you're west or east of the UK, and then join in at the beginning or the end. I don't mind. We're going to try this. There might be a reason why nobody has tried this before, but we'll see. So let's go. Here we go. Belfast, Penzance, Plymouth, Swansea, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Blackpool, Bristol, Manchester, Bournemouth. I'm imagining you jumping up if you're in line with any of these places, okay? Aberdeen, Birmingham, Coventry, Southampton, Newcastle, Leeds, Sheffield, Oxford, Nottingham, Leicester, Reading, York, Peterborough, London, Brighton, Cambridge, Eastbourne, Skegness, Maidstone, Canterbury, Colchester, Norwich, Great Yarmouth, Lowestoft. There we go. So that was the virtual Mexican wave. I'm fairly sure that was a great success, and we're going to be seeing lots more people doing that in future. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me see those little hands coming up in the comments. I'm looking forward to that. So this is a song actually mentions Milton Keynes and Leeds. Not something you could say about many songs, but this is a song talks about the fact that we're all kind of on the same planet, but we're in different worlds. We kind of have very different experiences of everyday life, and yet Jesus came to save us all, to step into our world, step into our pain and our joy, and to identify with us, but to live the perfect life and to save us. So this is called Same Planet, Different World. Here we go. There's a girl who lives near Leeds, working 2 jobs to meet the needs of the 2 boys she never sees. She says it's not easy. And there's a man from the city. His house is big and his wife is pretty, but his bonus isn't what it used to be. He says it's not easy. They walk the same planet but different worlds, from the single mom to the 6-figure sum. Every man, woman, boy and girl, we walk the same planet but a different world. There's a man in Aceh, rebuilding the life that God swept away. Says he has to take it day by day, and it's not easy. There's a girl in Milton Keynes, leafing through the lifestyle magazine. She's got 4-bedroomed ensuite dreams. Says it's not easy. They walk the same planet but different worlds, from the devastation to the middle-class obsession. Every man, woman, boy and girl, we walk the same planet but a different world. Some worry what they're gonna eat, some worry what they're gonna tweet, some what they're gonna drive, some just praying they survive. Some they worry about the bills, some they worry about the pills. Take a walk inside their shoes, don't you know we've all got issues? Long time ago in the Middle East, there came a man they called the King of Peace, and he lived among the last and least. It wasn't easy. Felt the joy, felt the pain. He lived and he died and he rose again, and he promised life would never end, but he never said it's gonna be easy. He walked the same planet, stepped into our world from the heavens high. He came to die for every man, woman, boy and girl. He walked the same planet, stepped into our world. Lovely stuff. Well, I hope you're doing okay this evening. It's lovely to see some fun that's going on in the comments as well. If you're wondering how to get in touch with me on social media, you can have a look at my Facebook. It's Paul Bell Music, and on Twitter as well, and Insta as well, Paul Bell Music, and YouTube as well. So do engage with me there. Say hello, like my page, follow, do whatever you like. And also my website, in case you're wondering, paulbellmusic.com, and you can go there if you want to get hold of any CDs. I was going to say find out about gigs, but it's they're not quite happening at the moment. But do come and say hello. Grab yourself a CD if you want to, a download. It's nearly Christmas, isn't it? And so do a bit of Christmas shopping. Why not while you're here? In fact, speaking of Christmas, you may notice that in the background here, I have procured my mum's Christmas tree, because we're going to sing some Christmas songs together. And I've got a Christmas album, little Christmas EP there, beautiful shade of pink. I don't know if you can see that, but if you would like to pick up a Christmas EP, they're on the website as well. And I even went up in the loft this afternoon and got hold of my Christmas jumper. It's slightly worrying because I've not tried on my Christmas jumper since last year, and I may be carrying a little lockdown weight, so I'm gonna take a risk, don my Christmas jumper for this section of the gig, and I probably won't take it off again because that just may be difficult. But anyway, I'll see you on the other side of my jumper. Just a moment. So, Merry Christmas. I'm going to sing you a couple of Christmas songs, and the first one is a song about the celebrations. Are you familiar with celebrations? Do you ever eat those at Christmas time? I know we do in our house. And on the first day, when the tub of celebrations opens, it's very nice to dip in there and find maybe a Maltesers, the nicest one, or a Twix, or perhaps a Galaxy Caramel. Those are all delicious. But a couple of days later, you open the tub and you find that there's only Bounties and Snickers in there, because they are the worst celebrations, and they are the least popular, certainly in our house. I know some people will be commenting now, furiously typing away, "No, Paul, the Bounties are the best ones." People often would come up to me after gigs when I play this song, and they'd say, "Paul, we really like the Bounty, they're the best ones." And the thing I've learned over the years is that those people cannot be trusted. So let's just bear that in mind. So I'm going to sing you a song called The Bounty and the Snickers, and it's a song about how much I hate Bounties and Snickers. And you can join in on the chorus if you like. It's the part that begins the rustling of the wrappers. So here we go. The Bounty and the Snickers, the first of two Christmas songs I'm going to be performing for you this evening. Here we go. The Bounty and the Snickers are always left till last. Of all the celebrations, the Bounty is the worst. The rustling of the wrappers, the shaking of the tin. I wish that I bought heroes, for they are all quite nice. The Bounty bears a texture quite like a Milky Way that has been mixed with sawdust scraped from a stable floor. The rustling of the wrappers, the shaking of the tin. I wish that I'd bought heroes, for they are all quite nice. The Bounty bears a flavour like Aldi shower gel. It tastes of disappointment and the feeling of regret. The rustling of the wrappers, the shaking of the tin. I wish that I'd bought heroes, for they are all quite nice. The Snickers is a Mars bar that someone spoiled with nuts. It holds within the potential for an anaphylactic shock. The rustling of the wrappers, the shaking of the tin. I wish that I bought heroes, for they are all quite nice. The Bounty and the Snickers are always left till last. Of all the celebrations, the Bounty is the worst. The rustling of the wrappers, the shaking of the tin. I wish that I'd bought heroes, for they are all quite nice. Well, there we go. That's the first Christmas song. and I hope that has ministered to you. The next Christmas song is a song about the way Christmas works in our household, and basically I feel like Christmas wouldn't be the same without the tremendous work that my wife does in terms of the shopping and the cooking and the preparation and the wrapping of presents. And if it was left to me, things wouldn't be so good. We'd probably have a Christmas pot noodle, we'd be opening a few poorly wrapped, poorly chosen presents on Christmas Day. And so I'm hugely grateful to my wife for all that she does to make Christmas what it is. And I feel like the first Christmas perhaps would have benefited from the involvement of some female organisation, because the blokes perhaps didn't smash the logistics of it. So this is called You Can't Leave Christmas to the Men, and I'll just show you the hood of the jumper. I can't really sing in the hood because it obstructs the hearing, but here we go. Just show you the ears there and also the pom-pom. There you go. But I'm going to drop the hood and sing you Christmas to the Men. Here we go. Poor Mary, almost due, in the festive rush hour queue, waiting for the miles to pass, sitting on a tired donkey. This journey's no short hop. Imagine all the toilet stops, oh Joseph, this is verging on the ridiculous. Miles from home, has Caesar taken leave of his senses? Guess it's as true now as it was then. You can't leave Christmas to the men. Parked outside another inn, the time has come for checking in. Mary sends old Joe a look, it seems like he forgot to book. Imagine her frustration, he could have arranged some accommodation. And Mary rolls her eyes and says, I don't care if this was prophesied, 'cause they never planned to be the original stable family. They couldn't stay with Joseph's folks. You can't leave Christmas to the blokes. Following a special star, Melchior, Caspar, Balthazar, heading off upon a whim to find the child and worship him. Their gifts, though valuable, weren't exactly practical. So when you buy that Christmas treat, always include the receipts. Don't you know you can't go wrong with a voucher? I thought you said these men were wise. You can't leave Christmas to the guys. This song's for every man, doing the very best he can, buying gifts the night before at the 24-hour convenience store. God rest ye merry gentlemen, once the washing up's been done, and tonight all across the world let's hear it for the girls. Don't you know we'd be lost without them? Guess it's as true now as it was then. You can't leave Christmas to the men. There we go. Merry Christmas, everyone. And for anyone just tuning in, sorry if I've freaked you out in thinking that it is Christmas. It's still only October, don't worry about it. But I just thought it would be fun to have a little bit of Christmas shenanigans and it's not at all related to the fact that I've still got a few of these Christmas CDs available. So I think we've probably got time for a couple more songs, and then I'm gonna leave you, if that's okay. And the first song I'm going to play for you is a song in which I rap, and it's the first song I've ever written in which I perform rap. And in that sense, I like to think of myself as an older, less successful, less ginger Ed Sheeran. And I've checked, and I am all of those things. And this is a song that addresses the subject of buffets and how to approach a buffet. Because I think we all have a game plan, don't we? I know in the current environment there aren't many buffets happening, but it's still good to prepare ourselves, isn't it? So this is called Buffet Strategies, and it's about how I approach a buffet. And I hope you enjoy it. Here we are at the wedding, and I don't mean to be rude, but already my attention is turning to food. It's getting late, about 8:15, so excuse me if I'm starting to salivate. My hungry eyes can't help but check out every platter and bowl that's being brought out. My mouth's getting ready for something to chew, because we only got invited to the evening do. The dance floor fills with 8-year-olds. Fernando blasts out on the stereo. Now comes the end of all my waiting and hoping, as I hear the DJ say the buffet is now open. I'm poised, ready to spring into action. Once the queue has subsided, to my satisfaction I approach without fear or trepidation, cause I know how to handle myself at a reception. Buffet strategies, buffet strategies. These are my buffet strategies. There's 37 verses. Walking up to the table, please don't disturb me. I'm assessing the feast that's been laid out before me. Whatever reactions run through my head, I agree politely, it's a lovely spread. You gotta beware the unsupervised children grabbing handfuls of what's-its, then off they run. Someone's combined the frazzles with the quavers, but when it comes to crisps, you should never mix your flavours. It's worse when they mix up the regular crisps. You never know what will be passing your lips. It's a voyage to the unknown, but never a fun one. Will it be salt and vinegar or cheese and onion? Wedges, crisps, chicken nuggets, chips. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips. But you can't deny there's no point getting ragey. It feels so good to eat something that's beigey. Buffet strategies, buffet strategies. These are my buffet strategies. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, plate is heavy. There's hummus on my tie already, so carb heavy. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready. Give me something meaty, something green, something bready. Now I'm looking for something spicy to snaffle. Is that a bhaji or maybe a falafel? This is the arena that keeps me coming back, so I always load up on the Indian snacks. Oh yeah. How you handle dips and crudities is up for debate. Should you make your own dip reservoir on your plate, or pre-dip your carrots, pre-dip your celery? Just try a bit to make sure the hummus isn't fizzy. You gotta give these things a little thought. Treat the buffet like a mission or an Olympic sport. Sometimes we all need a little help, but sometimes you gotta help yourself. Let me hear you say, buffet strategies, buffet strategies. You gotta help yourself, y'all. Buffet strategies. Moving as fast as we are able. If only we could use both sides of the table. The atmosphere is still fairly cordial, but uh-oh, who's this having a dawdle? We're all quite patient, but seriously, sheesh, how long does it take to choose a slice of quiche? Could you get a move on? We're starting to get bored. Have you never spread clover on a baguette before? I know it's bad manners to consider overtaking, but can't you see how many people are waiting? There's a reason we don't want you to be slow. Gotta grab a decent pudding before they all go, oh, buffet strategies, buffet strategies. There's only one slice of cheesecake left. Now I've gone and got myself a tasty coleslaw with a little tater salad. There's nothing I like more. I'm worried that they've run out of forks. No, not for a minute. I brought my own spork. Oh, not for me. The indignity of trying to eat couscous without cutlery. When it comes to pudding, the spork is still your friend. Just flip it round and tuck into some trifle with a spoon and buffet strategies, buffet strategies. Just flip it round and tuck into some trifle with a spoon and buffet strategies, buffet strategies. Now seconds are good, but thirds you might regret it. If you're contemplating fourths, you should really forget it. Don't forget the hardest one of the lot. The most important strategy is knowing when to stop. Buffet strategies. Buffet strategies. The most important strategy is knowing when to stop. Buffet strategies. Buffet strategies. The most important strategy is knowing when to stop. There we go. I hope that's helped someone this evening with their buffet related needs. And what I thought would be good as a response to that song, Buffet Strategies, is I've actually created my own range of Paul Bell official Buffet Strategies sporks. Here they are. Here's one. And they've got a fork end here. If you've not heard of a fork, there's a fork end here, there's a spoon end here, and there's also a kind of a serrated bit. So they're very versatile implement. And it says on the side, it says, I brought my own spork, and hashtag Buffet Strategies and my website. And if you would like your own spork, it comes with a download of the single Buffet Strategies. So do check that out on my website, paulbellmusic.com. And don't forget to follow me on my Facebook page, all that stuff. So we've reached the final song. We've reached the final song of the evening. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you to Spring Harvest for having me. I always love playing at Spring Harvest in person when that's been possible. I've done that over many, many years in Skegness and Minehead, and that's always been a real highlight of my year. And so hopefully we'll do that again sometime. And I'll see you in person at Spring Harvest. But thank you for joining me online this evening for this virtual gig. It's been great to see you guys in the comments, and I'll catch up with all that afterwards. I'm going to sing one more song for you if that's okay, and then I'll say goodnight to you. This is a song called Mend the Cracks with Gold. It's a song that talks about kintsugi as kind of a metaphor for our brokenness, but also the beauty that comes when we allow God to work in our lives, and some of the areas of brokenness that were in our lives become the most beautiful areas, most beautiful parts of our story. And maybe even after this horrible season of this pandemic, there'll be some beautiful things as God puts us back together again as the church. And there's already beautiful things going on even in this difficult season. And if you've not come across this idea of kintsugi before, it's the idea of taking ceramics, bowls and plates and mending them, but with gold and glue, gold mixed with the glue. And so you can see the cracks. It's not like the cracks weren't there, but they become part of the story, part of the beauty. And so I wrote this song called Mend the Cracks with Gold. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you again to Spring Harvest. And I'll see you again sometime soon, I'm sure. So thanks for having me, and I'll leave you with this. Here we go. Some things you can't undo. Some things you can't unbreak. No amount of glue can fix the mess we make. Some things you can't unsay. Some things you can't unhear. You can't unthrow a punch. Can't uncry a tear, but you can mend the cracks with gold. Mend the cracks with gold. When everything seems lost, you can mend the cracks with gold. Mend the cracks with gold. It could be better than it ever was. Better than it ever was. Time is a one-way street, and clocks won't be turned back. You shouldn't shy away from the pain that's in your past, with fragments all around. It's easy to despair, but the broken and the worn are not beyond repair. You can mend the cracks with gold, mend the cracks with gold, when everything seems lost. You can mend the cracks with gold, mend the cracks with gold. It could be better than it ever was, better than it ever was, better than it ever was. You can mend the cracks with gold, mend the cracks with gold, when everything seems lost. You can mend the cracks with gold, mend the cracks with gold. It could be better than it ever was. Thanks for watching tonight. God bless you. Have a great evening, and I'll see you again sometime. Cheers. Good night.